capital, Abuja. I am Jumai Manson. Now the news in full. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Friday sympathized with former President Goodluck Jonathan over the death of his sister, Obedihe Jonathan. Tinubu conveyed his condolence through a statement signed by his special advisor on media and publicity, Ajiri Ngalale, titled President Tinubu condoles with Dr. Goodluck Jonathan over sister's passing. Obahiten, fondly called Amesi, was a teacher, businesswoman, mother and grandmother. According to Jonathan's media office, she died on Thursday, January 11, 2024, at the Federal Medical Center, Yenengua, Bayelsa State, after a brief illness at the age of 70. The federal government has backtracked on its decision to construct all federal roads using only the rigid concrete pavement. The Minister of Works, David Umahi, disclosed the policy reversal during a meeting with all contractors at the ministry headquarters. This latest development comes several months after the minister directed all contractors handling federal government highway across the country to immediately dump the use of asphalt and adopt concrete technology. The announcement, which was met with stiff resilience from contractors, stalled the completion of several road projects, but Umahi, meeting all the contractors in Abuja, the third of its kind since the minister assumed office in August 2023, said the government didn't ban the use of asphalt, but was trying to cut down on its geometric pricing. He, however, gave a convict that specific road projects will be constructed using concrete pavement. The National Judicial Council, NJC, has clarified that no date has yet been fixed for the swearing-in of the newly appointed 11 justices of the Supreme Court. The council said that the purported news by an Abuja-based media organization suggesting Monday, January 16th, for the inauguration of the justices did not emanate from it. A statement by the NJC's Director of Information, Barrister Soji Oye, clarified that neither the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, who is the NJC chairman, nor the council itself authorized or endorsed the purported bars of the public to disregard the news. The NJC said that the date for the swearing-in of the justices would be made public at the appropriate time. And now still on the Supreme Court has affirmed Yusuf Abba Kabiru of the New Nigerian People's Party, NNPP, as a duly elected governor of Kano and dismissed the petition instituted against him by the All Progressive Congress, APC, and his governorship candidate, Nasir Yusuf Gowon. The Apex Court on Friday reversed the judgment of the Court of Appeal and the Kano State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, which nullified the election of the governor on miscarriage of justice. Justice John Inyang Okoro, who delivered the lead judgment, held that the law and natural justice were turned upside down by the two courts below to arrive at the unjust and unfair decision. Justice Okoro, while voiding and setting aside judgments of the two lower courts, said that miscarriage of justice in the ways and manner the petition against the governor was handled was manifesting. The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has urged his opponents during the 2023 governorship election to join him to develop Lagos State. Sanwo-Olu urged the deal to join the progressive governance train, noting that he and his deputy, Kadri Hamza, do not possess a monopoly of ideas. This is coming hours after the Supreme Court affirmed the election of Sanwo-Olu, which was earlier upheld by the Tribunal and Appellate Court in the state. The Labour Party candidate in the election, Gbadebo Rodi Vivo, had in his appeal claimed that Sanwo-Olu's running mate qualification, Obafemi Hamzat, had renounced his citizenship as a Nigerian. The court held that Sanwo-Olu's deputy is a Nigerian by birth, adding that uniting of citizenship of the citizen by birth must be registered by the Nigerian president, adding that the appellant did not provide any evidence that effect. Also, Abdulaziz Abduldiran, probably known as Jandor, who is the People's Democratic Party, on his part contended that the name Sanwo-Olu submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission was different from that contained in his WAEC certificate. The Apex Court, while dismissing the appeals, described it as an academic. The Supreme Court has affirmed the election of Dauda Lawal of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, as Zamfara State Governor. The Apex Court set aside the decision of the Court of Appeal, declaring the governorship election in Zamfara State inconclusive. The tribunal had dismissed the petition of the All Progressive Congress governorship candidate Bello Matawalle, challenging the victory of Dauda Lawal of the PDP. But at the appeal court, the court declared the election in the state inconclusive and ordered a rerun in 3 local government areas, which are Marandin, Berimagaji, and Bukiyam. The government of the Imo State has revealed details about the second inauguration of Senator Hope Uzodinma as a governor of the state. In a briefing on Thursday on the event that would take place on January 15, 2024, the State Governor for Information and Strategy, Decline Elmilaba, said that the governor has set up a 100-member committee for the second term inauguration. He stated that the 100-member committee was set up by Governor Uzodinma to oversee the success of the occasion. Emelumba, who also said dignitaries nationwide and beyond will be expected to grace the occasion, including Imaltis who voted the governor in masses. NIMNET's weather report has forecast moderate dust haze with reduced visibility and localized thunderstorms across the country on Friday. NIMNET said that over the northern region and north-central states, the forecast includes a horizontal visibility range of 2 to 5 kilometers, posing potential risks for road and air travel. It emphasized the necessity for precautions in light of the suspended dust particles. It urged the general public that the people with asthma and other respiratory issues should exercise caution and limit outdoor exposure due to present weather conditions. Additionally, NIMNET stressed the need for proactive measures among airline operators, encouraged them to stay updated with the latest weather reports from NIMNET to ensure effective operational planning. Following the growing insecurities along the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway and kidnapping attack on communities on that corridor, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Adeolu Egbetokun, has implemented measures to enhance safety and security in the region. The IGP emphasized the need for collaboration between various security agencies and concerned communities in the region. He urged the public to remain vigilant, report any suspicious activities, and cooperate with security personnel, as the collective effort is crucial in maintaining the security and well-being of all residents and travelers. He assured the public that these strengthened security measures are part of an ongoing commitment to ensuring a secure and peaceful environment. In a bid to get to the bottom of how humongous cash was moved from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation to private hands, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has extended its probe to directors and other key officials of the ministry and its agencies. The top officials were summoned by the Anti-Graft Agency to meet face-to-face with the suspended Minister Betta Edu, the suspended corridor of the National Special Social Intervention Program, Halima Shehu, and top banks officials whose vaults were used in custodying the huge cash without reporting to the authorities in keeping with financial reporting protocols. They were invited based on the fact that some of those interviewed earlier mentioned some of them as having played one role or the other, and we summoned them based on our determination to get all facts and arrive at a decision that will be fair to all the parties. Over now to the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN has appointed new executives to oversee the affairs of Union, Keystone, and Polaris banks. Following the dissolution of the board and management of the banks by the Apex Bank, in its report to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the panel led by Jim Obaze recommended forfeiture of the affected banks to the federal government in a statement. CBN's Acting Director of Corporate Communications, Hakama Sidi Ali, stated that Olayemi Cardoso, Governor of CBN, approved the new executives to oversee the affairs of the 3 banks, stating that the appointments took immediate effect. A human rights activist and senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, has called on the Nigerian police to conduct proper investigations into the case of brutality amongst lawyers in Lagos State. Falana made the call during a peaceful protest organized by members of the Nigerian Bar Association Lagos against the unlawful arrest and detention of a lawyer, Olumide Sonikpe, by the police in the state. The lawyer, who are members of about the 5 branches of the NBA, marched from its Ikeja Secretariat while displaying banners to the command headquarters, where the State Commissioner of Police, Adegoke Fayoade, addressed them. This is coming hours after the CP had ordered the removal of the Divisional Police Officer of Moshalashi Police Station, Austin Arase, who ordered Sonikpe's detention. Chief of Army Staff COAS Lieutenant General Tarid Lagwaja has cautioned soldiers against the abuse of social media, warning that the Army authorities will not take it lightly with any personnel who take to social media to denigrate constituted authorities. The Army boss, who gave the warning while addressing soldiers during a familiarization tour at 14th Brigade Ohafia, Abia State, tasked soldiers with showing loyalty and respect for the core value of the Nigerian Army. condemning the recent unparliamentary remark by a one-way soldier driver against the governor of Lagos State. The court has threatened severe sanctions against any soldier abusing the use of social media. The Assistant Inspector General of Police, AIG, Federal Criminal Investigation Department, FCID, Alagbon, Lagos, Idowu Owonuwa, has called for critical utilization of forensic criminal data to carry out investigations. Owonuwa made the call while briefing officers and men of the FCID on the current initiatives of the IG to reinstate the department as a lead investigative agency in accordance with the rule of law and professional excellence, making emphasis on the imperative use of intelligence-led tools to bolster investigations. The AIG cautioned detectives amongst restoring to custodial violence, calling on them to respect citizens' rights and maintain a zero-tolerance stance on corruption and professional misconduct. You're watching News Cycle live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times channel 276. Can you follow us on all social media platforms using that Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When News Cycle returns, Britain to increase Ukraine support to 2.5 billion euros. The news continues shortly with details on and more stories right after this break. Please stay with us. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcasts of News Cycle. Thank you for staying with us. And over now to our foreign desk, U.S. President Joe Biden's son Hunter has pleaded not guilty to tax offenses in the California federal court. He was indicted last month on 9 criminal counts, including for failing to pay his taxes on time from 2016 to 2019, filing false tax returns in 2018, and tax evasion. If convicted on 3 charges, Biden could face up to 17 years in prison. He's also facing federal charges over felony gun offenses, to which he has already pleaded not guilty. Biden, 53, made his first appearance in the tax case at a downtown Los Angeles courtroom on Thursday afternoon, where a sea of cameras had gathered outside and U.S. Secret Service officers had earlier conducted a security sweep. Bypassing the press through a rear entrance, he sat solemnly on the defense desk between his lawyers, then stood as his lawyer entered in a not guilty plea on his behalf. The father of 4 agreed to be released without detention on several conditions, including that he cannot drink, consume drugs, maintain employment, or buy guns. If he violates the terms of his release, the judge warned there would be an arrest warrant out for the president's son, and he may be imprisoned. Dozens of people took to the streets in Cape Town on Thursday in one of the several demonstrations planned across South Africa in support of the government's genocide case against Israel. Lawyers for Pretoria are presenting their case at the United Nations top court in The Hague, where South Africa launched an urgent appeal to force Israel to immediately suspend its military operation in Gaza. South African argues that Israel is breaking its commitment under the UN Genocide Convention, alleging the bombing and invasion of Gaza is intended to bring about the destruction of a substantial part of the Palestinian national, racial, and ethnical group. The UK will provide 2.5 billion euros of military aid to Ukraine over the coming year, Rishi Sunak has said. Britain's largest annual commitment since Russia's invasion. The Prime Minister made the announcement during a rare visit to the country, where he will also sign a new agreement supported as long-term security officials said the package will provide Ukraine with long-range missiles, air defense, and artillery shells. Some 200 million euros will be spent on drones, most of which will be UK-made. Officials said the military package for the next financial year, beginning in April, will result in the largest delivery of drones to Ukraine by any country. Significantly, the Prime Minister has decided not to make a financial commitment lasting several years. Papua New Guinea's Prime Minister declared a 14-day state of emergency in the capital after 15 people were killed in riots as crowds looted and burnt shops. Violence erupted in Port Moresby on Wednesday evening after a group of soldiers, police officers, and prison guards launched protests over unexplained deduction to their pay. Within hours, the unrest had already spread to the city of Lao after about 300 kilometers, 186 miles to the north of the capital. The Prime Minister said 4 department chiefs involved in the payroll problem, the heads of personnel, finance and treasury, as well as Police Commissioner David Mining, had all been suspended for 14 years. The judge in Donald Trump's New York fraud trial has withdrawn permission from the former U.S. president to give a closing argument as the case concluded. Trump stands accused of fraudulently inflating the value of his properties, and New York Attorney General Letitia James is seeking $370 million from him, as well as to have him barred from conducting business in the state. Donald Trump, the front-runner of the 2024 Republican presidential nomination, and his 2 eldest sons, accused of fraudulently inflating the value of real estate assets to receive more favorable bank loans and insurance terms. In business, despite recent effort by the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) to bolster the foreign exchange market through interventions, the currency's downward trend persists, prompting concerns about its potential impact on the broader economy. The depreciation of Nigeria's currency, despite the federal government receiving $2.25 billion foreign exchange support from the Ephraim Bank as well as the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN), offset of $61.64 million Nigeria-owned foreign airlines. A check on the Nigerian foreign exchange market Ephraim window, which showed that on the day the CBN announced it received the funds, December 29th, the naira was purchased at 898 naira per dollar and sold at 899 per dollar. The price increased on January 2nd to 913 naira per dollar. It further went up to 960.19 naira 9 kobo to a dollar by January 3rd. The Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security says it is not in charge of the distribution of 57.8 billion naira worth of food palliatives approved for members of the National Assembly by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for onward distribution to their constituents. The ministry's Director of Information, Joel Oreche, said it in a statement. This is contrary to the claim by the presidency that the president, through the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, distributed rice and other food items as palliatives to lawmakers. The palliatives was raising dust as constituents had accused their representatives of hoarding. The presidency had, while showcasing Tinubu's scorecard in palliative disbursements in Nigerians, said each senator got 200 million naira worth of palliatives and 100 million naira worth for each member of the House of Representatives. 21 days to the expiration of the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) deadline for all bank customers to have bank verification number (BVN), the Nigeria Interbank Settlement System (NIBSS) registration data showed that over 60.2 million Nigerians now have BVN. This represents an increase of over 2.6% from 58.7 million BVN registration as of September 12, 2023, before the Apex Bank's directives. According to the NIBSS electronic payment fetch sheet for 2021, the number of bank accounts in the country was 191.4 million, of which 57.9 million were inactive, according to Enhancing Financial Innovation and Access Across the Financial Service in Nigeria 2023 survey report. 5%, 3 million of banks adults do not have a BVN or NIN. And that's it on the news cycle, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using a Global TV Engine on the handles now showing on your screen. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching. Good afternoon.